Hello, this is Rashi Sahai, and you're watching Medicircle. Today, on our Children's Health Awareness series, we have Dr. Saheli Dasgupta with us. Dr. Saheli Dasgupta is a consultant pediatrician at Amri Hospitals, Mukundapur, Kolkata. For the past 12 years, she has been working in this field. Welcome to Medicircle, Dr. Saheli Dasgupta.
Hello, good morning.
So, as an adequate, well balanced diet is crucial for a child's survival, health, growth, and development. Healthy eating in child means they will have less chance of developing chronic diseases like heart diseases, type 2 diabetes, obesity, and cancers. Well nourished children are more likely to be healthy, productive, and ready to learn. It also means they feel better and enjoy life more. So, doctor, my very first question is that at what age should a child start eating solid and why?
Yes, we as a pediatrician we always advise that babies should be given exclusive breastfeeding till 6 months of age. But we should keep in mind that from 6 months of age onwards, the breast milk enough will not produce the adequate nutrition and immunity to the baby. For that, we need some complementary feeds to start. So, what are these complementary feeds? These feeds will be like rice, like pulses, all the single grain cereals, fruits. So, these things should be start from 6 months of age. Along with that, we should continue our breastfeeding.
Okay, doctor. So, what kind of solid foods do you recommend for a 6-month-year-old baby?
Yes, what I recommend is that mother should continue the breastfeeding. In addition to that, we should start any single grain cereals. Like initially, we can start with rice. Then we can give some mashed potato, some pulses. And regarding fruits, we can start with chiku or with mashed banana or with boiled apples. But we should always keep in mind that whenever we are starting any feed, any cereals we are starting, we should always start one by one. Otherwise, if there is any allergy to any food product, that can be sorted out. So these are the foods we can start initially and then we can increase it gradually.
Okay, doctor. So, which food is more nutritious for a baby, like Cerelac or a homemade food?
Definitely a homemade food because it will have all the essential nutrients, carbohydrates, fats, minerals, and vitamins. And that is also very economical. That is good for the baby because whenever if we add any outside food like Cerelac or any from any brand, that always contains some preservatives, okay? And that contains some excess amount of sugar. So we shouldn't recommend that. Always my recommendation will be homemade food should be offered to the babies.
So, what to do when a baby gets constipated, bloated, or is vomiting after having solid food?
Yes, it's a very common thing where mothers always complain to us. Whenever we start basically this solid food, the child they have a tendency to get constipated or to have a bloated feeling, which mothers generally tell us. But that is very common, and for that reason, we shouldn't withhold the feeding or we shouldn't just stop. And again, we shouldn't switch only to breast milk. Okay, we should consult our pediatrician. And regarding vomiting, also, generally after have starting this feeding babies might vomit for 1 to 2 times. That is normal. But if the baby is vomiting for 3 to 4 times or after every feed is vomiting large amount, then we should always consult the pediatrician whether any other organic cause is there or not. But for that thing, before stopping any feed, we should always consult our child specialist.
So, what kind of food should one not feed their 6-month-old child?
Yes, there are certain foods which we always tell the mothers do not start, like salt. Salt is not needed at least up to 1 year of age because this increases load to the kidneys. Then sugar. Sugar is also not needed at least below 12 months of age. We shouldn't add any like raw eggs or improper boiled eggs, cheese, any preservatives, foods like which we eat in the restaurants. These things shouldn't be started. Honey we shouldn't use because this can sometimes it can give rise to any infection in the gut, in the baby. Okay, so salt, sugar, cheese, saturated fat, honey, any oyster or seafood, as well as any outside food which contains any preservatives.
So, how can one know that the baby is full after having solid food?
Generally what happens initially when we start any feed, the babies doesn't take much. like for 1 to 2 spoons one day, then the next day it gradually increases. So whenever after giving 3 to 4 teaspoons, if the baby refuses or he just goes away from the food or he tries crying, then we should keep in mind that maybe the baby right now is not trying, is not liking the food, or is doesn't want to have that food. Okay? But for that also we should keep in mind that whenever we'll plan, like suppose I am planning to give my baby a food at 12 o'clock, then I shouldn't give any milk or any water or any breastfeeding at least 2 hours before. That should be, we'll keep in mind. And then if we feed the baby and after giving 2 to 3 feeds, if the baby like nods away or pushes the food away, then we can know that okay, the baby is full, we shouldn't give it further.
Okay, doctor. So on Medicircle, our main focus have always been to provide the audience with large amount of information in less time. And so today we will be conducting a small question answer session in which you can answer in 1 or 2 line sentence. So doctor, my very first question is that, is it true that when babies cry, that means they are hungry?
No, not at all. There may be many reasons when a baby cry. Maybe he is hungry. Maybe his diapers are wet. Maybe he's like not irritated. He's not liking anything, and maybe he can have a headache. He can have an earache, and also an abdominal ache. So these are all the reasons a baby can cry. These are not the only reason that baby is hungry.
So do solid foods affect baby during fever?
No, not at all. But obviously, during fever, what happens? Baby doesn't like to eat any kind of solid food. They usually take the liquid food more. But what we always tell the parents that do not force feed your baby when a baby is ill. You can, if he is not liking a solid food, you can offer him liquid food. You can give him soup. You can give him coconut water, and these things ORS you can give. Okay, we shouldn't force him, but there is no such thing that solid food shouldn't be given when a baby is ill.
So can mothers feed their child with non-vegetarian food?
Okay, generally non-vegetarian food we tell are to start after 1 year of age, because these non-veg foods, they contain some proteins, then some native proteins are there which sometimes may be allergic to the babies. So we always recommend that you start at least after 11 months of age.
Okay, doctor. Thank you so much for coming to our show and sharing your valuable time and insights with us at Medicircle. It has been a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you.